Hello YouTube! Today in the Naughty Librarian I am doing my Christmas movies book tag. Okay, so yes, my sweater lights up. It's a Home Alone sweater. It says Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. I don't know if it's all in frame and it lights up, but I feel like it's just gonna get obnoxious as the video goes on, so I'm gonna turn it off, but we all gotta see it together that it lights up. Alright, that's better. It is almost Christmas, and I just kind of want to be in the chill zone again. Like right before a holiday, I don't want to get invested. I just want to chill. So I have developed this book tag. I mean, the Christmas movies book tag does exist, but I didn't like the movies on it, so I just made up my own with my own movies. So it's not my idea, but it's my own tag. It's somewhat original, who knows? But yeah, I just want to talk about some of my favorite Christmas movies and talk about books and just be in the chill zone. I got my cocoa, I got my sweater. Let's just have Christmas chill time. Number one is Jingle All the Way, a classic, but it's also just really about, you know, shitty parents just doing horrible things to get a toy. So in honor of that, what's a book that you would do questionable things to get early? Like, for me, it has to be The Bride Bet by Tessa Dare. Like, obviously. It was supposed to come out in 2020. It didn't. So it's been delayed until 2021. So it's an extra year I've been waiting. This book has been pre-ordered for well over a year now. Almost 2 years. It's insane. So I want it. I want it now. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just need it. Movie 2 is a Muppet Christmas Carol. Such a classic. Love it to bits. And it's also, of course, a reimagining of, you know, A Christmas Carol, but like with Muppets, obviously. So pick a book that you read this year that is a retelling of a familiar story. I went with Cursed by Thomas Wheeler. It's one of the many Arthurian legend retellings I read this year. Like, I read so many Arthurian legend retellings. I was way into them, and all of them disappointed me. I don't know what it was. I was like into it, and I was always disappointed. And this one, I mean, it's not bad, but it kind of just shoots itself in the foot from a narrative perspective, because we're following Nimue, who is the Lady of the Lake. So we all know how her story ends. You see her being like way cool and like saving people and like having a sword, and you're like, yeah, and you're like, no, you're gonna end up in a fucking lake. Like, so it kind of just shoots itself in the foot. There's no like tension if you know exactly where it's gonna go. But yeah, it's a thing. It became a Netflix show as well, so there's that. And I read it. It's alright though. Like, I give it, like, it's average. It's like 3.25 stars. I don't know, it's fine. Movie 3 is Home Alone. I love this movie. It is the namesake for my sweater. And one thing I've always like super wondered, and maybe it's answered in the film, but I just haven't seen it in a long time, that what does his dad do for a living? That he affords that enormous house in Chicago. Like, it's enormous. Like, that is some choice real estate. Huge family. Everyone has their own bedroom. No one's sharing. And they're all going to Paris for Christmas. And like, what the hell does this guy do for a living? I don't know, but whatever it is, he's killing it. So for this one, I want you to name a character who's super rich, but you really don't have any idea why they're rich. Now, I think this question is going to be a bit easier to answer if you're a romance reader, because there are so many billionaires in romances, and like, they are billionaires because business. I don't know why they do it. So really, there's a multitude of books I could pick. But I figured, hey, let's go with the top here, and that is 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. Christian Grey. We know he owns like a telecommunications company. He owns it. But like, what does the company do? Like, telecommunications, yeah, but what? Do they make phones? Do they make software? What do they do? Like, I have no idea what his company does. I just know like he does business and makes billions of dollars. But like, what the fuck do they do? Is it in the text? Because I don't remember them saying, besides it's a telecommunications company, but like, what do they do? Movie 4 is Die Hard. The, quintessential Christmas movie that's actually not about Christmas at all. So in the spirit of that, pick a book that you thought was going to be about one thing, and then after reading it, you realize it wasn't about that at all. I went with Docile by K.M. Sarza. It's... okay. Did I like Docile? No, I did not. I went in with a bit of reservation because the way it's described, it's slave fic. Like, if you're a romance reader, you know the term. It's gross. Like, no one likes it. Well, apparently people like it, but they shouldn't. And so I was like, maybe it's cool because it's sci-fi? And no, they didn't pull it off. I thought this was going to be more of a dystopian love story, sci-fi kind of deal, and it isn't. I know slave fic, like, how much of a romance could there be, but I thought it was going to be, like, fake slave fic, like he wasn't actually a slave or something, but I'm like, oh no, this guy's a slave, and like it's not a love story. You can't, no, there's too much unequal balance of power here. And amongst other reasons, like, I just really didn't like it. I thought it was going to be an actual love story where I would root for the characters to, like, overcome things. And I didn't. I was like, oh my gosh, you need to run the other direction. Oh, get away, get away. So, yeah, I felt gross reading it. I know some people like it, and I understand what the author is doing and, like, the subtext, but the real text, on top of the page without the subtext is, like, rough to get through, and I don't like it. So, there you go. I thought it was gonna be one thing, and it just wasn't at all. Movie 5 is Batman Returns. Yes, I love this movie. It's so campy, and it's just, like, smothered in Christmas. It's so Christmassy and so Batman and, like, campy. There's Catwoman and the Penguin. It makes no sense. So in the spirit of that, what is a book or a series that you totally enjoy purely on the camp factor? I went with the Highland Bride series by Lindsay Sands. I've read the whole thing this year, and, like, I couldn't stop reading it. They're so campy and ridiculous. Like, every book is the same plot. Like, it's always the same plot, and I read them all. I read, like, 8 books. I didn't care. It's just, like, a silly, campy murder mystery plot with, like, smutty guys in kilts, and it, let's go into the mowers and they have a picnic and then just, like, do things to our bodies. So it's like that, and also there's a murder mystery. Every book is exactly the same. It's so campy. I love it. It's like it's not really an acquired taste. It's just like, if you like that flavor, you will read all the books. I've used this analogy before, but this series is kind of like a bag of mini Snickers, where you love Snickers, and every Snickers you pick out of the bag is going to taste exactly the same, but it's okay because you love Snickers. So it's like that. So yeah, it's book candy, it's campy, it's got, like, dudes in kilts and, like, adventure. I don't know, I love it, whatever. I read them all. Question 6 is A Christmas Story. I love this movie. It's one of my all-time faves. It's great. And one of the most famous lines from the movie is, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid," because all Ralphie wants is a BB gun, and everyone keeps telling him he's gonna shoot his eye out. So on that note, name another character who just won't take the good advice they've been given. They hear the advice and they go the other way. Like, as soon as I wrote the question, I immediately had an answer, and that is Bella Swan in Twilight. Like, girl. So many times, he's like, I am dangerous to be around, murder, murder, I want to eat you, and not in the sexy way. And she just doesn't listen. So many times, she can't stop trying to get murdered. Like, it's a lot. Like, people say, hey, don't do that, and she just does it anyway. She cannot take advice. She's just determined to get herself murdered. I don't know, at a certain point you're just like, alright, that's fucking how it goes. But yeah, she just consistently does the stupidest things that people have told her not to do all the time. It's up to you whether or not that's charming. Movie 7 is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, either the original cartoon or the new version, the live action version, whichever one. It's just a fun Christmas tale. And you know what? It has a happy ending because the Grinch's heart, he grows 3 sizes too big, and I always get excited for it. I want you to pick a similar character, a character who starts off very surly and whose heart grows 3 sizes too big by the end of his journey, or their journey. Name a character. I went with Adwin from Blood Witch by Susan Dennard, mainly because I have described Adwin as the Grinch often, because his heart grows 3 sizes too big. He's very surly and just like withdrawn and broody. He is so broody, and like I love it because like #Badwin, I love Adwin. Over the course of the story though, he starts to open up a bit more and you're like, I see you, Adwin. You got a soft little gooey center and I want to get at it. So he is very surly, very reserved, but actually kind of a softie at heart. So yeah, I went with Adwin. Fight me, I think he's a softie. And the last movie, movie number 8, the classic, A Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, this could also be a Halloween movie, but Christmas is in the title, so I count it as a Christmas movie. And really, it's just about a bunch of lovable weirdos just trying to make a go of things. So, name another group of weirdos that you just absolutely love. I went with the Marauders from A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White. This is a trilogy. I read it all this year. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. And it's a crew of misfit kind of space pirates. They're more like adventurers, a little bit of smugglers like thrown in. And they're so wacky. Well, they're not, wacky's the wrong word. They're just like an odd pairing altogether. They have very different personalities. And it's great if you really like Firefly, I would say. It's kind of an ensemble cast where everyone's very different, but like they work well together. Just a group of lovable weirdos. I'm so attached to them. I would read more stories in this universe if they happen. So yeah, they're my little team of weirdos for 2020. I like them a lot. It's hot. I was hoping this would cool down by the end of the video. It didn't. It's really hot. So yeah, that was it. I wanted to talk about Christmas movies I like. I wanted to just feel festive. And since we're feeling festive, I'll just do one last hurrah of glittery light up sweater. But yeah, I just want to be in the chill zone today. Talk about Christmas movies. Be Christmassy. It's almost Christmas. Let me know in the comments down below what are some of your favorite Christmas movies, or what are some of your favorite Christmas books. There's a lot of options to choose from, so let me know in the comments down below, what do you love? If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I will see you guys soon. Bye! Merry Christmas!